30 more seconds to put it up on YouTube so that some people may wish to watch it from there. I'm already done with that. So here we are. We were, in the last days, we were seeing or considering with greater details the first 10 petals of the 24 petals. So Nivas, you are aware those 24 petals in the Sri Chakra. And the first 10 petals directly relate to the 5 yama and the 5 niyamas given in the Ashtanga Raj Yoga process. Our aim is to purify our minds. And within the commentary of the Yoga Sutras, at the end of niyamas and right at the beginning of the sutra that we are going to consider today, it is said that one who can practice the 5 yamas and the 5 niyamas, his or her mind will get purified. It's a big blessing coming from the sages. And just this simple ahimsa, satya, asteya. Now, in English, non-violence, non-hurt, speaking the truth or being authentic, and then non-stealing, and then non-indulgence or non-wantonness in indulgence of senses, and aparigraha, non-hoarding, non-possessiveness. These are the 5 yamas, and the 5 niyamas we have already seen are shaucha, that is purity, both outer purity, cleanliness, as well as inner purity of the mind, shaucha. Santosh, we have seen the meaning of santosh being joy, fullness, joy and fullness, both together, joyfulness. And then tapa, swadhyay, Ishwar Pranidhan. These are the 10 petals. I would greatly request and appreciate that we at least remember these 10. If we don't remember them, how will we practice them? So now we go a little forward, and right after the 5 niyamas, right after stating all of this, Patanjali goes straight, Maharshi Patanjali straight away says that if you or anyone who goes to practice these virtues or these practices, whoever will do that will certainly face resistance. That means will face the opposites. That means one who is practicing ahimsa will surely face emotions of himsa, of violence. You will feel like shouting at someone, or you will feel like, depending on how angry you can get, you'll feel like hitting or punching somebody. Similarly, non-hoarding, those who are practicing non-hoarding will be tempted to buy something new, hoard something, get something, wish for something like that. Those who are practicing contentment will get opposite feelings. Those who are practicing shaucha will get the opposite. They will feel like, I don't want to take a shower today. I don't want to brush my teeth today. Simple things. I will wear the same clothes. Who cares to again wash it? Let's carry on. Simple things. And then tapas. At that time, a lot of resistance comes. Swadhyay. Swadhyay means chanting. Meditation is also part of swadhyay. And if we are in an interesting conversation with our friends or families or some excuse or the other, something will come up which will say, forget, we'll do swadhyay later on. Let us first carry on with the conversation. And similarly, Ishwar Pranidhan, devotion to God, also gets mighty challenged, mighty challenge. We begin to look at people who don't believe in God, who are not devoted to God, but who are doing very well in their lives. And we feel that we are doing so much for God. We keep all the fasts and we do the agarbatti every morning and do all everything. And we think that this is all we can do for God. This is what we are doing for God. And God has forsaken us. And it really breaks us down. So for all the 10 steps or the 10 practices or the 10 values, our mind habitually will create contrary perceptions, contrary feelings. Vitarka means contrary logic. And that vitarka, contrary logic, becomes a badha, becomes an obstacle in practice of that. It weakens our practice of that. So there, when contrary logic comes up, normally we tend to advise ourselves, or we think a higher master will advise us. When contrary logic comes in your mind, just watch it. This is very common. We hear it all the time, that if something disturbing comes in your mind, which is opposite to what you should be doing, don't engage with it. Just watch it from distance and let it be, and it will settle down. But this is our idea. This is not the idea, or this is not the teaching of Maharshi Patanjali. And Maharshi Patanjali, followed by those 30, 40, or even more commentators, more sages who, for the last 2,500 years, have been teaching Yoga Sutra, and through the Yoga Sutra, teaching us to calm our mind. That is not their stand on it, including and up to Swami Ved Bharati, who is directly our guru. So, what do they say? They say, Vitarka badhena Pratipaksha bhavanam. When contrarian logic arises in your mind and becomes an obstacle to the practice of these 10 virtues, then you must practice Pratipaksh. Pratipaksh means contrarian. Bhavanam, sentiments, perceptions, contrarian perceptions. That means, so what do you mean? So it goes on to explain over 2 sutras that what it says there is, first thing first, you have to perceive, look at the fault in the contrarian thinking that has just taken over. That means, suppose Akshay has parked a car in front of my gate and I'm getting angry. Normally what we do is, I would want to see fault in Akshay. How stupid. He'd parked the car in front of my gate. These boys don't even understand a damn in this world. And I justify my anger, even if I'm a great man, so-called. I have justification to become angry on Akshay because I'm seeing fault in Akshay. What Rishi is saying is, see the fault in the aspect of getting angry. Look for the fault there. And what is the fault? Well, anger will demolish me. Anger, something that I have gathered in me like dewdrops, will get totally finished with anger. That this anger will push me into darkness. That this anger will push me into greater karma and cycles of birth and death. This is one side, philosophically. Vyas, Sage Vyas, commenting on it, makes a very harsh statement. I have seldom read such statements, such harsh words coming from teachers, any level of teacher. Normally in writing, harsh words are never used. They are used while speaking, somebody can use it. But as a part of commentary, to write such a harsh word that it becomes almost inappropriate to say it. But I will say it because it is Sage Vyas who is saying it. I will quote him. He says, one must, when anger or greed comes up, one must remember that I, Pavan, or I, Niva, I have taken a vow of unhurt, ahimsa. That means I have vomited out violence. I have vomited violence out. Now, when I'm again getting angry, exact words, I am like a dog who is licking his own vomit. That strong a dialogue, self-log with oneself. Not so easy. So what? I got angry. This was necessary. So what? I felt a little greed to buy that watch. The watch was so good, and it was kept in the mall at 90% discount. I would have got it. And then I asked Priya to pay for it. I'll pay her later. All that greed things. I already have two watches. I have bought a third. So what? It happened. So what? I've not become a sadhu. I'm still a householder. All these things we do to justify. But here it says that the moment such a thought arises in your mind, which is against your own sankalpa, your own great vows that you have taken, all the 10 of them are great vows. So I don't feel like taking a shower. It's okay. One day, if I don't take a shower, what happens? It says that you have taken a vow of shaucha. It's a vow that I'll clean myself every day. I'll keep myself clean, wear clean clothes. I'll brush my teeth. It's a vow. If I'm not doing it, instead of excusing myself, the same statement, it's a very dirty statement. But when I have taken the vow of shaucha, I have vomited a shaucha. Dirt I have vomited out. To stay dirty, that I have vomited out. Now, again, I'm licking it back because I want to stay dirty and I'm justifying it. That is a very strong one that it says. So, this is the core message of today, Pratipaksh Bhavan, to be very, to flog that thought, to push it back. In fact, one of the commentators, probably Vigyan Bhikshu or someone, or Bhojraj, is saying we have to develop our own Pratipaksh, statements of Pratipaksh Bhav. You don't need to, if you find it too repulsive, the dog and the vomit, it's too much, don't worry. Create your own dialogue that you will tell your mind when it goes and gives you logic against what you should be doing. You are supposed, you have gone, you have surrendered at the feet of Bhagwan, whoever your Isht is, Bhagwan Ram, Krishna, Shiva, Hanumanji, Devi, Ganapati. You have offered yourself at their feet. You have offered all your good, bad at their feet. And now, just because things are becoming uncomfortable, that you want to pull back and want to tell yourself what an idiot you are. You're believing in this God and that God. Gods don't exist. These are all imaginations. And you want to pull back from that and break down your vow of Ishwar Pranidhan. Then what must you be speaking to yourself is what we have to, uh, the, uh, the sages have left it to our wisdom, but have given a benchmark of how strong we have to go against this thought to shut it down. So a statement says that whenever you go to do something great, there will be many obstacles. Shreyansi bahu vignani. When you do something shreyas, when you want to do something good, something beautiful, something great, there will be many obstacles. So we should not be surprised that when we commit ourselves to non-violence, non-greed, non-possessing, Shaucha, Santosh, Tapas, Swadhyay, Ishwar Pranidhan. When we commit ourselves to that, as simple an act as sitting down at 8:30 every evening, if we commit ourselves, we'll find certainly there will be many obstacles. That's why we have kept a range between 8:30 and 9 p.m. anytime, at least for 1 or 2 minutes. At least that bit we should be able to catch and then extend it. So greed, anger, and delusion. The sages say that greed, anger, delusion. These are the three key factors that throw these contrary principles or contrary logic to what we set out to practice. So we need to go to the root of it and cleanse ourselves of these three: greed, anger, and delusion. Actually, these three delusion, you can also replace it with desires. Greed, anger, desire. These are also said to be the three main doors to hell. Bhagavan Krishna in Gita says these three take us into big downfall, to lower worlds: greed, anger, and delusion, desires. These we need to be aware of that. And I will just conclude by listing out the 9 obstacles. So the one that I just spoke about is known as an internal logic that arises, that comes in sadhan path, in the second part of Yoga Sutras. But in the first part itself, and we have already discussed it in the past, also in the book, we have discussed it in great details, the 9 obstacles, the 9 interveners in our practice. I will only call it out. You can note it down. It is in the book, or it is, you can read it under Yoga Sutra 130, part 1, Sutra 30. It lists it down, 30, 31, both. What are these? Number 1, Vyadhi, illness. It can get into our practice and pull us down. Styan, simple translation, mental laziness. Sanshay, doubt. Pramad, procrastination, taking it lightly. Alasya, laziness, physical laziness. Avirati means lack of dispassion. Lack of dispassion. And Bhranti Darshan, false perception. False perception. And Alabdha Bhumikatva, loss of grounds on which we have arrived. Sometimes we arrive on a very good ground in meditation. The loss of that is also an obstacle. When we are not careful, when we take it for granted, this happens. And all these 9 are accompanied by 4 friends. Each one of them is accompanied by these 4. Sorrow. Anyone. Vyadhi. Suppose you are physically unwell. It makes you sad. It doesn't make you happy. Dormanasya. Bad mental space. Depression, anxiety could come along with it. Angamejatva. Trembling of the body. When you are unwell, the body shakes. It cannot be still out of weakness. Similarly, when you are under mental laziness or any laziness, otherwise also, your body cannot stay stable. It's a sign of one of these weaknesses or obstacles having got you. And the 4th is uneven breath. These are the 4 that accompany each one of these 9. So therefore, you have these 36 obstacles, 9 into 4. These are the only points in my memory that are shown to be as detriment to our practice. So if we keep our eyes on this, that is number 1, contrarian principles or logic coming in your mind. And number 2, these 9 types of obstacles that detract you from your practice, then practice of those 10, the five yamas and the five niyamas, devoid of all of this, will lead to complete cleanliness or complete purity of mind, of the mirror of the mind, which is what our theme is, Nijman Mukur Sudhar, cleansing the mirror of our mind. The mirror of the mind gets fully cleansed. This is what the sages say. When these 10 are practiced without the impact or keeping these impacts away more and more from that. So, which shows that the sages acknowledged and accepted that these kinds of obstacles will arise, shall arise in the minds of people who are practicing. It is just natural. It comes from our own past latencies and all of that. So it is very natural. And we don't have to take it lightly, but it has to be forcefully, what we call, I gave a pushback. We have to give a pushback to them, and we have to devise our own pushback. The severity of that pushback is given in one sentence, one example that we shared. Other than that, we can have our own pushback to these obstacles. With that, I will pause. And today we have Nivaji also. You can share from your experiences, Nivaji, how you would push back things that come in your way. You have been doing sadhana for a long time. You have been keeping silence for such a long time. And I know how midway in the silence, there sometimes can be a noise saying, why the hell am I keeping silence? It's enough. Enough. My mind is now peaceful. Let me break it. Those voices also come up, and how you deal with that. Similarly, Priya is also here. We can all share our experiences. Fantastic, Emma. We are also going to conclude quite quickly after this.
Pavanji, I was listening to you and I was smiling because there were so many things that came up which naturally come, at least to me, right? Uh, and when you ask Nivaji, okay, what happens when she's doing the tapa of silence, right? And I immediately reflected, like, after my silence, I don't want to leave the silence. I just want to be in it, like, right? You don't want to come out of that silence. I crave for those days when I can be. अब तो होता ही नहीं है. But my biggest, I think, where the space that I need to work is my anger. I get irritated. Uh, and earlier I wasn't aware about it. Now I'm aware about it. That I am getting angry, I am getting agitated. And I ask myself, is there another way to respond to this? I ask myself that. And I don't know, is it inherent core to me or what is it? I don't know.
No, so
So
first you have to, sorry.
I try to, like, unshred it, like open the whole thing, right? And go deeper into it. That why am I do understand I'm very react I react to things. I react to things. It's not about age, but it's more about, I feel, I think our classes, the sessions we attend every Saturday, the learnings that we get from here, that has made us quite aware about how we think, how we process. Uh, is it right? First, that awareness has to come, I feel, right? We may do whatever tap, it will not help. Whatever fasting, it will not help until we have this awareness to and work on ourselves. And that, like, surrender does not happen overnight. This The love to God also doesn't happen. And that love to God is incomplete if we don't love ourselves. Because with this only we can offer. If we have not kept this, we cannot offer. So I am guilty of it. And
Yeah.
but there's so much this is this creates so much of awareness, right? Of when you say anger, greed, delusion. So I said delusion तो अभी आजकल मुझे होता है for my work. There's no other way. But greed नहीं है. But anger है, definitely है. I don't, it's not I don't know how to overcome it. It's, I'm working on it.
So there itself, I was saying that it might help you to understand that in the Gita, it is explained why anger happens. There, Bhagavan is saying that when your desires meet resistance, at that
Hmm.
point, anger arises. That's the definition given in the Bhagavad Gita.
Hmm.
Now, the point is that you want somebody to be in one way or the other, and that person is not in that way. And so, therefore, that person or that situation is not that way. And most of the time, it is like that, that people around us are not the way we want them to be. We say that what we want from them is the right thing. We want certain behavior from our children or certain behavior from our clients or some respect or something. They don't give it. They don't. And immediately at that time, anger arises. So personally, I have the same problem. I have a lot of anger and I've processed a lot, and still I get, if not angry, irritated. I get that inside of myself. But what has helped me is learning to accept, number one, and learning to understand as my personal understanding, not just theoretical understanding, that everything in the world, everything in every person is absolutely correct. It's a big one. Try to think about it. Somebody came, touched my car, say, and abused me on top of it. So I'll say, what kind of a person is he? He should have said sorry. Instead, he's abusing me and threatening me. But that also is absolutely correct. When we train our mind in such a way that everything in front of us is absolutely correct, then there will be no clash with how we want that to be. Therefore, there will be no anger. It has helped me. It has helped me. But you can find your own
No,
way
no, I'm
of.
not saying that's a wrong thing. I'm just
uh,
saying we have to wait situation by situation. If somebody
mm,
is doing wrong in front of us, right? कुछ गलत काम ही कर रहा है, बहुत गलत काम कर रही है या कर रहा है. We can't, we can't say ये सही है.
I say
नहीं बोल
yes.
सकते. उसमें भी
We have no
contradiction है.
option unless and until you are able to do something.
हाँ, तो वही तो
I
बोल रहे
I
हैं.
I took it to Swamiji, Swami Veda. At that time,
हम्म.
he was in body, and I said, Swamiji, when somebody is driving in front of me and throwing a pizza box out on the street,
Yeah.
my heart just burns totally. It burst into anger. Then
हम्म.
he just said one thing. He said, "Can you do something about that pizza box?" I said,
Yeah.
Swamiji, sometimes I can. I can park on the side, go pick up and throw it. Then do it. And when you can't, then don't. You
I
cannot.
agree with this, Pavanji, but
uh,
my point is I'll take a very simple analogy. For example, a man is beating his wife or spitting on the road, right? I mean, we can't say this is right.
I'm saying it
I
is
will
right.
jump in. Knowing me, I know.
Uh,
I will
but
jump in to say this is wrong.
if you can,
Yeah,
sure, stop him.
I do it. But मुझे
Then do that. Anger आता है.
I
सही बात है.
get
But the fact is, if you can do something about it, you can talk to that man. Then talk to him.
चेंज
But
कुछ नहीं होने वाला.
कुछ नहीं होने
बस
वाला है.
अपनी नजर से हम देख के कर नहीं सकते.
Yes, ultimately, I'm making a very, you might say, a very weak or a resigned statement. But
Mm.
ultimately, if you look at it from a big picture point of view, this earth is not even a speck of creation. When you look
Mm.
at bigger pictures, you
Yeah.
look at the sun, the moon, stars, and the galaxies, nothing. On that, we are living here for a few years and we get out. Now, even if the whole earth just vanishes with all the human beings and all life, to the entire creation, no difference will happen. That's one.
Mm.
Number two, how people are today, the good and the bad, they have been like this ever since we can recall any history. So, when we talk of there was a golden age, I must admit that we cannot really have any evidence of a golden age when everybody was embracing each other and dancing in the street out of joy. Nothing like that. In
Mm.
every age, greed, anger, delusion, desire has surpassed all social behavior, and people have been chasing it. Yes, some people have been powerful enough to do it, some have been weak to just get, and this is how it has been. So what are
Evolved.
we supposed to do? What are we? You
Mm.
will have to find out your own space in this
Mm.
and find your own path in it. For example, for myself, I would say I cannot fix the whole world. I can't boil the whole ocean. I'm not even a social activist. I can't go planting many trees, one tree or so, yes. But many trees or saving many animals or doing much activism is not my cup of tea. My
Mm.
cup of tea is that all those people who want to blossom and choose the same path as me, I
Mm.
can hold a space so that we can all come together and share ourselves. This is all I can do. And I'm convinced that all these 10 virtues are fantastic virtues. And I feel very good practicing them. My mind, my intellect says, yes, I should become more and more nonviolent. I should not become angry. Greed doesn't help me. Content or santushti, joyfulness helps me. I feel better. I feel better in God's presence. It makes me
Agreed.
feel good. So I'm following that. No big sort of banners and claims around it. Similarly, you will have to find, suppose they say, no, this is not my way. If I see something, the least I can do is get angry and tell him two things. Then go for it. Then experience what happens in your mind, how you
Mm.
feel, how you come back, what impressions it create. It is for each one of us to accept totally or in part what we are sharing together. Actually, end of the day, there is, you cannot really define this is the right way and this is not the right way, can't be defined. You can only say this has been said by Sage Patanjali. I really trust him. He was a great sage. He must have said
I
things
would
right.
say we choose our battles.
Mhm.
We choose our battles.
We choose.
We choose our battles of life,
Maybe that
where
also
we
not.
exert more energy
Uh,
and
we
thought.
feel so. We
Mm.
feel so. Neuroscience is taking away this aspect of choice in a big way. What we think we are choosing is already chosen or has chosen us. And we think we
Mm.
have chosen it. It's a mental construct. There is a place in the brain exactly where this happens. It's just behind the prefrontal cortex, behind the Guru Chakra. And it's that place where this construct of I, brain constructs the idea of I, then I, my life, these things are mine, that battle is mine, this is my choice. Very important to survive. Other than, other than without the idea of I, we will not survive.
Mm.
But it is still an idea, and the scientist there is writing, for example, we we construct the idea of blue in the sky and the idea of green in the leaf. There is no
Mm.
green, there is no blue.
Mm.
That is how we construct the idea of I. When you get it, immediately your doership will drop, your ownership, your enjoyership will all drop. You'll relax, and you'll find that there is no other way than to flow in the presence of God and just do your things very efficiently, whatever is there in front of you. but have no tension about who is spitting on the street and who is doing what. And if that is your calling, then go ahead and do it. If that is not your calling, just keep going. He's spitting on the street. He's doing as bad as you getting angry and spitting anger in the minefield. Are you getting the point? There
Yeah,
are
yeah,
people.
I get.
There are people who cheat. For example,
Yeah.
their cheating is as ton of dirt in the minefield because it will make the whole minefield stink with lack of trust. And there will be many relationships that will get impacted, weak relationships with that.
We'll take this talk offline with you.
Yes, but
Short
Nivaji.
conversation.
Mm. You know, I
Niva-
had Priyaji in my 20s. I had a mentor, a Chinese mentor, a very strict 70-year-old man when I was learning the Tao. And I became, oh, this person's doing this. And I wanted to correct everyone in my family and this and this. So he took me aside one day when we were in a satsang and he said to me, come here. Who are you to think you are God? What big ownership you have. Your life lesson is to learn about your self-referencing, because referencing only points outside of presence. When you're being totally present in flow, there's no external referencing. And in Jainism, they say live and let live. You know, the biggest thing is ahimsa. And I was having the same conversation with my eldest daughter the other day, because she goes on many marches and all of this thing about the sustainable fashion and the minefields here, and why is Zara creating this clothing and all of this thing. And I said, look, you're never going to be able to stop big multiple companies for doing what they're doing, but you be who you want to be without adding the interference of other, because the interference is only going to cloud your own judgment, add to your mask of karmic retributions, which only you will have to face. Instead, be and not do, and don't have ownership in it. So then she was asking me, okay, Mom, I want to surrender that. And surrender is the first ignition when you get the collapse of that mimic control. Things externally to us are always controlling us. But when we can truly surrender, which I found in, you know, the 60th day of the silence, when it was getting really noisy and yet I couldn't, but I had to completely surrender. Surrounded by 5 women in the house, everyone's chatting away, everyone's got their opinion about what to cook for dinner. And in the end, I just thought, well, actually, my stomach's just going to get fed. Like, okay, who cares if it's Indian or Japanese or Chinese or whatever? It's like, and when I dropped my own, you see, the changes only happen when we shift. But we go out with these 2 eyes trying to shift to the external. But this eye here shifts, when that shifts everything else, which is like Ma Varahi. Varahi, when she goes in with her bow and she goes deeply, deeply into your psyche and pulls out everything like from the roots, like Pavanji said, she's derooting the samskaras. And from surrender, as I wrote some notes during, comes allowance, which is, it doesn't require any comprehension or acceptance. It replaces any resistance, and any tackiness is it's just gone. That stickiness, it's a process that happens naturally. You can't really talk about it when it just happens. And then allowance is the silence in which your natural coherence, that harmonic flow, naturally arranges itself. So you go into the being of truth. And when you're flowing in that being of truth, many things can happen around you. Many things happen around me all the time. All the time. In fact, probably more so. But And it's not going into an internal world or an external world, because that's also creating duality. Being is just presence. And I think it's like, it is the untattooing, it's the unstickingness. There's nothing sticking. My chapati flour isn't getting harder and harder. You're just like, it's just. And for me personally, it's been a natural process, because I haven't been forcing the doing, Priyaji. I haven't been forcing, I think there was so much pain in many aspects, so much pain, which was beyond even putting the hands up. You know, financial pain. There was a bit of physical pain when I had the cellulitis. And then when I fell over and tore my shoulder muscles, there was that sort of thing. But emotional, mental pain. And that's when people say to me, how can you allow your girls to just be, because in allowing them and not controlling them, because I've shifted, they automatically shift, because we're all it's like I see it when
I
I'm
have
painting.
experienced that. I have
Yeah.
experienced that. So yeah.
And when I'm painting it, I paint it as circles. It's like we're all these interconnected. There is no separation between any of us. But if somebody's spitting his pan masala on the street, I won't tell him, but I could point him to the direction of in London, we have spitting cups in the pan shop. I could point him or I could go and get a cup for him and just hand it to him in silence, not saying anything. If I wanted to, otherwise he'll get a £350 fine straight away if the police
That
catch
was just an
him.
example. I don't do it.
No, but yeah.
It was just an
So
example. I don't do
it's
that.
a very natural process, and silence is really like the magical. It's really the most, like you said, you don't want to, and it's not like sitting in silence, or you don't do silence. You don't talk about silence. Silence is there all the time. It's just, just now I'll go and make lunch, but it'll be inside. It'll be, so that presence already is going into the food that I'm serving the family. If I want to chant a mantra, I will. If I don't, it'll just be that. And it's not even a state of being. It's just flowing as being. And these days, Pavanji, I can't find words. There are no words now. Before I had words to say, and I think my only language that expresses this now is through art, because that's the only thing, which is like my sadhana now, that brings me to that complete silence where I'm oblivious to anything that's going on. You can't, because talking about it is also creating an interference pattern. Why interfere with the beauty of silence?
Indeed, we only reduce it by talking about it, but what to do? Sometimes we are called upon to communicate, to invite other seekers or who are keen to experience that. Then we share in some little cups of words what we have abundantly consumed.
And I've been through the
experienced.
whole circle, Pavanji, of it's been a 35-year journey of, everything, and then my marriage, and then the divorce, and the house fire, then the losing the house, then being on the street, homeless with 3 children, and the police saying, okay, you have to go to a women's refuge center. And all of these questions were in my mind, like, why first is always, why me? I haven't done anything bad. I'm, in those days, like complete Jain vegetarian. I'm still vegetarian, but, all the doing the ahimsa, eating before sunset, like, what have I done? I'm only being a mom. But that took me onto such a justification journey of answering my own questions, of seeing my own canvas in front of me. I planted all of this in my life. I wanted to experience this. And the bigger the journey, the bigger the going into shunya, the bigger the things will just keep coming to show you. And but it's now looking back on it, it's just like, wow. Now I just need to meet a Bollywood film star and make a big blockbuster. Because you
No,
can
but
laugh at it. You can laugh
no,
at
but
it now.
it is what you're saying is evidence of what I said right in the beginning. Shreyansi Bahu Vignani. Those, aspiration for the great is met with many obstacles. So if your path is on a higher, or you have to come up to a higher space, many obstacles or all obstacles. But if you look back, you'll find that they were all cleansing of karma,
Yeah.
karma dropping off,
Yes.
people dropping off, things dropping off, ideas dropping off, till you finally could, sort of find yourself of all the
Yes.
unpeeling that happened
Yes.
around you.
I said to my guru the other day, I said, oh my gosh, all this sadhana, all these pujas, all these everything, like 4 or 5 hours waking up at Brahma Muhurta. I said, I was only looking for me.
Exactly.
I was only looking for me, and not me self-referencing me, just the essence, not Niva, not the essence. So, and it's still, life is always, everything is work in progress.
Yes.
I
Yes.
so agree. This is all our own unpeeling.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yes.
unpeeling happens.
And enjoy the process. Enjoy it.
I'm able to, honestly, I'm able to see it. One can, one, this is the learning we get. Pavanji, it may not be so visible to you, the changes, if we have changed or adapted, but to me, there are very obvious, and वो आप बोलोगे कि अच्छा ये बातें बोल ही नहीं जाती,
Mhm.
but then ये दिखाई देती है अपने आप ही. But
बहुत बड़ी बात
we
है.
are sharing here and we are reflecting, uh, and it's thanks to you, you taking out time, unconditional time, to help us blossom, right?
And the
Help
beauty
myself
of your
to
listening,
express.
Pavanji, you just absolutely create this space. Do you see how I'm careful with my words? Not even saying holding space, because holding space automatically creates a container, and that's
Mhm.
boundaries. You're creating this space, allowing people to share, all of us, in our journeys, and your listening is so profound with
Yes.
so much compassion. So I'm so grateful. So
We are
grateful.
we are learning
Same, same.
together from each other. And today we have Akshay coming up on camera. He's from Canada, Toronto. Can you imagine? Young
Ah,
man.
okay.
Must be early morning for him. He was in the Hindi session also. He comes in the
Okay.
English also. He gets a division of that. It's incredible. Akshay, do you have anything to add? Is something going in your mind?
Yes, I want to ask something.
Yes.
Uh, like last time we had a chat about, as a businessman, you have to make money, but you have to make a conscious business and a conscious organization where, everybody stays happy and the way everything should be ethical and all that. But from on my personal thing, I want to ask, like, I'm not on the greedy part, but I am more on that part, when somebody comes with the need and ask me something, I cannot stop myself and I cannot say no. But then
Yes.
at the same time, what happens is the people and the situation changes, and it always rotates the other way. I see the person in need and then I do that, and all of the sudden something happens and they turn like enemy to me. When I ask them, the if
Back.
let's say if I lend them a money for some reason, they would just come up to me and they would just say something like, I don't have it, do what you can, whatever you want, and something like that. Hi, how are you?
So Akshay, you first finish with your friend, and then we'll talk about it. But this is right. What he's saying, it is part of the learning curve. We learn to survive in this world, and some thumb rules. Somebody comes asking for money, and you give him that money. Please mentally write it off, because mostly people won't give it back to you. We don't have the enforcement mechanism to get that money back. So best is to say no to a person, and this is known as creating healthy boundaries.
Mm.
We don't need to all the time say yes to somebody seeking help. We have to see our own capacity, whether we can do it. If you can do it, go ahead and help that person. But if you feel that that person is only fooling you, and or you don't owe that person that money to be given, you don't need to give, not at all. In this world, we have to live with great smartness. That is why Bhagavad Gita talks of yukta ahar viharasya. Yukta, appropriate consumption and appropriate behavior. What is appropriate? It is for us to decide. As also Priya was also saying, that from situation to situation, things changes. What is appropriate? You will know, your intellect will know. That is why our Shri Mantra, which has the Gayatri Mantra built in it, the more of those repetitions, the more cleansed your intellect, it is able to sharply see through the situations and help you make appropriate choices. Yukt ahar viharasya. Otherwise, sometimes you will be overwhelmed with compassion and end up just giving some amount of money, or if you're wearing a jewelry, so take it and get your daughter married. And then you'll wake up and you say, oh my God, but she's not coming back or giving me or whatever. So we have to maintain that particular balance.
Mm.
Hmm.
Viveka buddhi.
Vivek buddhi, sharp Vivek, very sharp. And for that, that is where we have to practice the mantras that work directly on the buddhi. Mantra like the Gayatri Mantra or our Shri Mantra. It's a combination of Mahamrityunjay Mantra and this Gayatri Mantra. It's a beautiful mantra to give some sharpness to our intellect.
From your astrological point of view, as an astrologer, how much of that is also destined in our path, and how much of how how interlinked is everything? You see,
Yeah, intellect.
because you come with this particular destiny or planets wherever they are, and yeah.
I'll tell you something. Sometimes during my consultations now, I don't so much, but there was a time. Even now, sometimes just to check whether I'm seeing the chart all right, I would say, have you had a sweet like a ice cream or something? And the person will say, yes, I have just had ice cream just before sitting here, or I've had a rasgulla or a rasmalai or a lassi, something white, something sweet, a milkshake. Now imagine if I'm saying that through the horoscope, that means up to and including him having a milkshake is destined. It's a very big statement I'm making. More and more you realize that each and everything that you're doing is destined. There is only one point where there is free will, and that is choosing the Shri Path. That choice is free will. I will make an inner journey from my selfie to the self. I will discover myself. I will give myself to God. I'll experience the love of God and the presence of God. This particular choice is total free will choice. After that, God would take over and will help in that coming home. But other than that, including the act that I will raise this finger like that, or I could have done this with this hand, this too is destined Neuroscience is proving that.
Mhm.
Question
In
around that.
in a lab, sorry.
Sorry if this is getting a little long for you, Bonji. You've been sitting since 5 p.m., 4:45, 4:30 p.m. rather.
Another 3
I have a
minutes.
question on this that thoda bahut from astrology only, that it's written, okay, you're going to meet your guru. You will have a visit of the guru. चाहे वो आपके घर आएंगे या आप उनके यहाँ जाएंगे, वो गुरु से मिलना होता है हमारा, राइट? तो वो लिखा होता है, मतलब वो चार्ट प्लैनेटरी मूवमेंट्स वैसे होते हैं, लेकिन वहां से एस्केलेशन भी लिखा होता है, किसी का लिखा होता है, किसी का डाउनफॉल वहां से लिखा होता है, व्हाटएवर, राइट? तो वो भी तो लिखा हुआ है. तो व्हाई इज श्रीपत देन नॉट डेस्टिन्ड? दैट इज आल्सो देन डेस्टिन्ड कि
So
भगवान
you can
के रास्ते
say
चलेंगे.
the fact that you will meet your guru is an event. It's not a
Okay,
choice. But
okay.
I want to become a superior human being. I want to blossom to my highest self. I want to look inward and understand the mechanism of my own self so that I become a better human being. This
तो आप
particular
बोल रहे
thing
हो,
is your own choice.
ये आप बोल रहे हो कि ये प्लैनेटरी मूवमेंट नहीं होता, कोई भी ट्रांजिट नहीं
इसमें नहीं
होता?
कोई planetary movement है. This is your
नहीं, कुछ
choice.
तो ट्रिगर होता होगा ना, कुछ तो ट्रिगर होता होगा
Trigger,
जिससे
yes, you
इंसान,
can. That is true.
है ना, कि
हाँ,
वो उस तरफ ध्यान पड़ता है. बिकॉज
हाँ, but
इवेंचुअली
trigger.
पहले तो ये सवाल आते हैं, वाई मी, वाई मी, वाई मी,
हम्म,
राइट?
हाँ,
उसके बाद अपने आप को वो जो सरेंडर, और पहले पहले सरेंडर होता है, फिर
हाँ.
ग्रेटिट्यूड होता है. ग्रेटिट्यूड एंड एक्सेप्टेंस आई थिंक दोनों साथ साथ आते हैं, राइट?
Trigger
तब तो
and
ट्रिगर
trigger is
मूवमेंट्स तो
the same.
डेफिनेटली होते हैं, नॉट वन,
Trigger
मल्टीपल
moment,
होते हैं.
trigger moment is always the same, which is suffering.
हम्म.
One form or the other of deep suffering is the only trigger, I will say, that makes
या
person look inward, or that person will become even more bitter and become mentally disoriented and things like that. So a
राइट,
trigger is suffering, but how will a person respond? That
दैट तो
one, the response which takes you inward is almost your own choice.
चॉइस.
Other
Yeah.
than that, all other choices that you make in your life, up to and until I will raise this hand or raise this hand, also is, you can call it, is outside your free will. Then who is willing it? The cosmic mind is willing it. Prakriti. She is playing.
Mm.
So just as in your dream, whether your character will get bitten by a snake or not is not in the hand of the character. You think that in the dream, I saw a snake and I started running. But you did not decide that. The dreamer were deciding whether you will run or you will not even watch the snake and will get bitten, or you will get frozen and the snake bit you, or you woke up. All the characters of the dream are you yourself. They are made up of your stuff. And likewise, we are part of a bigger dream in which our consciousness is so trapped that it identifies itself with the mind body equipment, with the character that we are playing, with the construct of I. We so relate with it that it has become inseparable. And the only goal of Yoga Sutra is to become separable from this and to witness the dream as a dream, and not only witness the dream as a dream, but turn around as a character and look straight into the eyes of the dreamer, Narayan, the dreamer.
Mm.
And you're liberated as a character. And that dreamer, look at the dreamer. It is his goal to liberate each one of these dreams out of the dream.
Yeah.
Ishvara is waiting for us. It is his job to liberate us. But we must be able to look up. This choice is ours. I'm not saying up means, if you look up from the moon, you will look at Earth. So not that. But in that direction, in that upward escalating direction. This is my little understanding. The other understanding is that if at all we have a choice, we have a choice in response. You know something? You'll find it interesting, even Nivaji, you will also find it interesting. This word responsibility, it
Mm.
comes from the word response. what is going to be my response? How responsible I am. That means how controlled my response will be to what presents in front of me.
What is
I'm a
our
respons-
ability to respond?
yeah, what choices will I make in response to
Mm.
what presents in front of me? And therefore, one is said you have a higher responsibility. You will set aside some smaller, immediate things and look at a bigger picture. So the leaders have different response. The security guard will have a different response. So on response, we have probably we have a free will, and that also we have to cultivate. The more, like Priya was saying, the more we listen to ahimsa and all of this every Saturday, boom, 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 goes into our head, and it changes over a long period of time our response to our things.
Mm.
And before I conclude, Akshay, for you, the concluding thing we were talking about, probably you listened to it. You are a young man, that you will have to be very careful. You have to be very smart in your world. Just because somebody is asking for help and you're helping doesn't make you a good man. Don't have any pressure of being a good man, Akshay. Don't think people will say, Akshay is a good man. Not necessary. You have first responsibilities to protect yourself and the things that you have. And thumb rule, if you give money to somebody, it's gone. Especially somebody anyway doesn't have any money. So if somebody has no money, he needs money for medicine or food or something, give it to him. Thank you very much. If he comes back and gives you, very good. Doesn't come back and give you, you know that already. Otherwise, don't give. You're not responsible for everybody who comes up to your shop and says, please give me food, I'm hungry. That's not your responsibility. So, what is my dharma? What is my swadharma? My dharma is I'm a businessman, I have a shop, I sell things from here. I don't give anything for free. It is not my dharma to give you food. If you are hungry, please go to the social center where they might be giving food to hungry people. I'm sure in Canada there will be those places where people can go and get food. You don't have to give him a free loaf of bread. Not at all. Unless and until you can afford to. Suppose you are, God willing, you have so much of wealth, like Elon Musk. Somebody has written, if Elon Musk gives $1 billion to each of the 8 billion people on this earth, only $8.5 billion will be spent out of his $1,200 billion. He has
Wow.
$1,200 billion. He can make every person on this earth a billionaire. He's God today in that way. He's sitting in that position. Kuber. He can make everybody rich. But he's not going to do, he isn't going to give me $1 million or $1 billion or you or to Akshay.
Honestly, पवन जी चाहिए ही नहीं उसको संभालना बड़ा मुश्किल है
That is a separate thing. But look at his mindset. Look at his mind. He can turn around all the countries in Africa in one go. All countries will become prosperous.
Yeah.
They'll get a school. Women will be all right. Armies will get some things to fight with. They'll all be okay. But he won't do it. He will take
Mm.
$1 trillion, again make it 2 trillion, 5 trillion. We will keep on listening to these stories. Akshay will live longer on earth. He is the youngest here. He will remember, I don't know, Tesla has made how many trillions. He will remember this day that we're talking
he's building
when
a
he had only.
community पवन जी he's building a whole community living
Hmm.
system X is doing that not X or whatever his company is called I don't really know
Hmm.
he is building a whole community of living where nobody has to work तो भाई खाएंगे क्या I mean if nobody's going to work who will
Mm.
sow if not sow how will it come and there are people investing into it believing in that future और रहना नहीं उन्होंने खुद जिंदा और एलन मस्क का ही क्या पता जिंदा कितना रहना है उसने
Exactly. So all of
किसी किसी का ही नहीं पता
that
we
is
are
why we
not
have
such
to
a lala
enjoy.
world
Yeah, everybody is like that. We have to, therefore, at this point in time when we ourselves are left with 20, 30 years, I don't know how many active years, total focus on Sugandhim, Pushtivardhanam, a clean mind, like a flower,
Mhm.
and a heart which is full of love to do something to nurture, nourish somebody, and live healthy and
Always.
experience the love of God. So simple. And
And
get
that
through
is
this,
the
get out
biggest
of
wealth. That is
and
the
get out,
biggest wealth.
biggest love, and get out of this world. ASAP. This is a small speck. We are living in three-dimensional bodies, plus two dimensions, space and time. Only five dimensions, whereas already scientists have discovered 11 or 17 dimensions. Why are we living a restricted life of only two or three dimensions or any finite number of dimensions? So, or forget even about those stories, just to live peacefully and get out of this world. I think that will be a good enough journey if we could live our life very peacefully and stay healthy and get out of the world. Even if we have not made much difference around, but as long as we have not thrown dirt on the street or dirt in the minefield, both ways, we would have done our bit. So 808, we take leave and we connect again on Sunday.
Thank
Take
you,
care, everybody.
Pavanji.
Thank you for joining in, Nevaji. What a
Love
pleasure
you.
to see you, bright
Not
and
not driving today.
no driving today after a long time.
Yeah, after a long time.
Okay, Akshay,
Thank
go
you.
ahead
Bye
with your
bye.
day.